Hey OTCers, welcome to Friday night in the Bundesliga, but not any Friday night in the Bundesliga. We're at Millerntor, the home of St Pauli. Why is this important? Well, Millerntor is central to St Pauli's identity. It's something that not only reflects their personality to the world, but at the moment is incredibly important to them for reasons that we're going to get to in a minute. Now, you probably already know about St Pauli. They're super cool. They're the ultimate countercultural, left-leaning club of European football, not just of the Bundesliga. But at the moment, they're working out how to exist in modern football. Now, there's always been a bit of push and pull about that because they don't want to be rampantly commercial in this rampantly commercial football world. They want to remain themselves. They want to be true to their community and their way of doing things, of not accepting certain sponsors. But, of course, this puts a block on them financially. How do you continue to exist, let alone to compete in this world? Now, this is particularly germane at the moment. The last time I was here was in 2011. It's just after they'd beaten the lot over the road, Hamburg, in the derby, for the first time in a very long time. They spent the rest of the season celebrating it and got relegated off the back of it. That was in 2011. Now, in 2024, they've just been promoted back to the Bundesliga as Bundesliga 2, second division champions back in spring. But of course, as well as being a scene of great joy, that also means it's kind of a hangover. You've got to work out how you're going to compete at the top level whilst remaining true to yourselves. So how are they going to do it? Well, Millerntor is actually the key to that. What they're doing is they're creating a co-op, and they've already created a co-op of fans to buy the stadium from the club, knowing it's in safe hands, knowing it belongs to the fans, but creating a lot of money with which to work on infrastructure, facilities, a sustainable future to this club that means so much to its people and its community. Now, on the 8th of November, this share issue was started with the co-op. They raised over 8 million euros on the first day. 17 million now. They're hoping to reach the 30 million target by January. We'll see if they manage that. It's a very ambitious project which is going so well so far and is showing how St Pauli really not just want to be themselves in football, but see if they can change football more generally. But before they get to that, of course, they obviously have to start winning some games as well, because whereas this is a central part of their personality, this stadium, they haven't won here so far this season. They're not in the relegation zone yet, but they've not only not won at Millerntor this season, they haven't scored a single goal. Tonight, they're playing Holstein Kiel in the freezing cold, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to get up there and we're going to see if they can score that goal and get this win to get their season off the ground. Before kick-off, I spoke to Miriam Wolfram from the board of the FCSP Cooperative, the group that, as a collective, is buying the stadium, as we said before, and pumping this extra money, this much-needed money, into St Pauli. She spoke exactly why this particular club needs a very specific solution to its future financial challenges.
Everything we do, I think, is that we want to make St Pauli the most successful football club which is possible without betraying our values, and this is the core of everything we do. And as our former managing director started with this idea in 2019, all of us were like, okay, we're into it straight away, we want to do it. Then COVID happens, and everything was a little bit slower. And then we started again working on this project, and now this year everything happens really fast. To be honest, we were founded on the 1st of April, and we are open to public since the 9th of November. So yeah, it was really fast paced, which is interesting because it's not that typical in Germany that these things happening so fast. But we have an extremely great and big supporting team in the club, with employees here working day and night on this project, and the board and our supervisory board, all of us are working for free on this project, also day and night, the last month, to get this amazing lighthouse project become alive. And the feedback we received so far from press, from other football clubs, but also from our fans, were really overwhelming, to be honest. From our fanzine, everyone was like, okay, this is exactly what we want to do, and this is exactly what we have to do to make our club, to bring them in an economic stable position, to get them the possibility to invest in infrastructure and also in getting the best team what was possible. Everyone is like, okay, supporting us in a really, really great way. We have a really good start so far. We already gained around about 17 million euros so far. We're really happy with this situation at the moment. Now we are in the next phase of our campaign. We're starting to get all these, get your Christmas presents ready, stuff, to get a little bit more of our shares in the world. But we are planning to have our goal in the end of January, and then we will finally buy the stadium, and then the stadium will be back in the hands where it belongs, in the hands of the fans, really, and not in the hands of the banks. That's why we did this, and that's why we took over this really nice project, and we think this is the most and the best way for this iconic brand we have, and this is the only way St. Pauli could do it, because what Oke already said, we are not able to get the extra money we need with selling something no one of us wants. So that's why we bring this cooperative in place, where we have this democratic rule. One member has one vote regardless of the amount of shares they have, so it doesn't make any difference if you're rich or not. You're part of the game, and everyone is equal. And this is St. Pauli, and this is so typical for us, and that's why it's perfect for us.
Now, St. Pauli as a club has a really layered and interesting history. Even though the official founding date is 1910, football in St. Pauli dates back to around 1862. But when things really changed is not just after they first got into the Bundesliga in 1977. Of course, they didn't stay there for very long. But around that time, the club really started to take on the characteristics of the Reeperbahn and the neighbourhood in which the club is actually situated. There was a big squat culture there, which led to this very egalitarian, everyone gets a say, left-wing approach that not very many football clubs out there have. And of course, they want to preserve that. That's made them such a recognisable brand. As club president Oke Gürtlich was very keen to underline that the normal fan should understand that their voice is heard, their opinion counts, and their vote counts.
Again, it is a discussion which has been started by our members. So when it comes, for example, take another example, then I talk about about the merchandising. It was a member of us, a 16-year-old girl, saying, hey, can we do our merchandising more sustainable? And of course, our merchandising boss was saying, oh no, but this is not valuable in the end. How shall we do it? It's too costly, it's too whatever. And then, of course, thinking, what are the beliefs? What is the belief system? Blah, blah, blah. We came up to the point. And this is maybe one of the transformations in the last 10 years, potentially. Of course, there were also critics like, oh, there is now a kind of board which is more coming from the fan scene. On the one hand side, of course, the question, are they professional enough to do it? Yeah. On the other side, of course, also, oh, they are taking over some topics which are usually coming from the fan scene. So this kind of, hey, are we still important as fans or as members? They are taking over our topics.
And the cooperative is only just beginning. It's got the potential to do so much more for St Pauli. The options and the depth of what it can give them financially and in terms of what they want to do going forward is not yet exhausted. We spoke to one fan outside the Millerntor having a drink who hadn't invested yet but is hoping to going forward, and he feels it fits really well with the collective values and equality that St Pauli promotes as a club.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a good idea. It's a different kind of football concept. In the end, it was, not at the end, in the beginning, it was a bit more disorganized.
Okay.
I tried to get one share, but I didn't come through on the website and stuff like that. So, but today I thought these display advertising, how you call it, the Bandenwerbung.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it's still open, so I will be a shareholder of my ground.
Yeah. Is that an important thing to you, to feel that the club belongs to you as a fan?
Well, it's just another brick in the wall. Yeah, so.
But everyone's that, though, aren't they? Everyone is another brick in the wall.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So I mean, a share of the ground or not. So that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's good and different, and so it always will always, as long as I will live, most likely, it will called named Millerntor and not something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. So we've heard about the business plan, but what about the game itself? It's a huge one tonight for St Pauli. They're taking on Holstein Kiel, who are, remember, the team that they came up from the Bundesliga Zwei with last season. Now, Holstein Kiel haven't done great since coming up. St Pauli are just in front of them. But remember, St Pauli haven't scored a single goal here at the Millerntor since returning to the Bundesliga 13 years on. Now, against a team that doesn't like them very much, and they don't like very much, just an hour up the road here in the north of Germany. That really needs to change. Let's see if they can crack it. There we go, home victory at last for St Pauli. 3-1, little mini wobble at the end, but pretty delirious Millerntor all in all. A profitable place and a happy place. Fans still will come along on match day. Old fans and new fans as well. One we spoke to explained to us exactly why she felt compelled to make St Pauli her first live football experience. What is special about the atmosphere here?
Well, it's my first time here, actually.
Oh, really?
It's very hard to get tickets.
So he's brought you?
Yeah,
Right,
actually.
okay, cool.
Because he's a club member.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's very rare to see people stand for acceptance and welcoming others. And this is what St Pauli is all about. Like, not all about, but, you know, my English is not too good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So there we are, victory for St Pauli, vital to their future and staying in the division this season as they beat one of their major rivals for the drop. but also kind of important for the future of the project as well. Of course, it's not completely reliant, the success or failure of it, whether they stay in the top division or not. But to work out whether this cooperative, this brave new world that they're stepping into, really is viable in the top division of a major European league, they have to stay in it. It'll be fascinating to wait and see.